Okay, J-wag, this is another quick one. Very simple scene, based on your interest and requests on the forum. The thing that I mentioned, if you watch that video again, at about 1 minute 47, I do mention the fact that the choice of the color of the path that iClone makes is arbitrary. Maybe I should have used the term random, because that's exactly what it is. So if I come up here to the create menu and I create a path, and I come down here and I go click, 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 you'll see that this path has been randomly chosen to be cyan. I have no control over this. This is iClone doing this. So when I first created that path in my video, iClone randomly chose grey, and that's why it's grey. But when you choose a path in iClone and make a new one, you'll get a completely different colour, and there's nothing I can do about that. That's just the way iClone is. And if I go here again and go create path, make another one, notice that the first control point, when I right click, notice the first control point is the colour of the path. Here the first control point is the colour of the path. So the path is, well, magenta, I suppose. So the point is, if you don't like the colour, change it. You can't change it when you create the path. It'll be arbitrarily chosen or randomly chosen like this. If you don't like the colour, just come up here, as I do in the video, and change it to the colour you like, and job done. So I have no control over that. It's totally down to what iClone does. And each time you launch iClone, or each time you create a path in iClone, that choice is random. So the video I recorded at that time was completely random. There's no way I can, you would be able to get the same result when I make the path, because the choice is random and it's made by iClone. Okay, so that's that. So now that we know that paths are random, I'm just going to edit this path. So I'm going to select this path and I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to go and hit the W key to get the move tool, and let's lift it up. And I'm going to select the next control point, and I'm going to lift that up. So we now have a curved path, and this is now your comment about the camera and the issues with the camera. So I have a hugely simple scene here, as you can see, just a box and this curved path, and I've now altered it such that I've lifted two of the control points into the vertical axis. So now let's put the camera on, and I've got this camera down here in the scene. I can pick it here or in the viewport. I'm going to scroll down and find the path area. I'm going to pick path, and I'm going to select the first control point on the path. And let's bring up the F8 mini viewport. I'm going to switch the mini viewport to look through the camera. And as you can see, I'm not really seeing anything at all. And the reason I'm not seeing anything is because the camera, if you look in the preview, in the main viewport, it's kind of looking straight ahead. Let's have a look at the camera. So generally speaking, when you've got a new launch of iClone and everything's like vanilla, then this will be set to parent rotate as opposed to local. That's pretty typical. It may not be the case, so please check. And you've already pointed out that you've gone to the edit menu and you've looked in the camera settings, and as you said, you've turned off auto level. And that's the problem that I show in the video. So if I now come here and I drag the blue axis, nothing actually happens, and that's totally down to the fact that we have camera auto level on, and we are also in that mode. And I can still move the camera now, but as you see, it doesn't make sense as to how it's rotating, which I do of course point out. But of course, if we switch to local rotate mode, tilt is tilt, yaw is yaw, roll is roll, and that's kind of. Now, your point obviously is that you're not getting this behavior, and there might be a reason for that, and there's two possibilities. So let's go to the modify panel, and let's scroll right down to where the path controls are, and there are two possibilities. One, it's a bug. Well, this does happen, but this is the current release version of iClone 6.4, so if you're using anything other than that, then that might be an issue. But if you look down here, the main thing to make absolutely certain is you do not have follow path turned on, because if follow path is ticked, then the whole point of this feature is the camera is locked to the path at a particular axis. There is absolutely no way you can rotate it at all. So if I click on follow path, it says, oh, x-axis I'm going to follow, and I'm just going to cut, I'm just using the Q feature or the select feature purely to hide the gizmo. And now what you can see is that the camera is now on the path, and we can kind of drag the time slider. So the reason you can't see the time slider is because I have that particular feature turned off. So F9 will bring the playhead back, should I say. So there you go. So the camera, now the thing to note here is that I wasn't at frame 1 when I did this. So let's come up here, and I'm just going to remove animation for the current camera. So that's fine. So the camera is locked to the path, and we come down here, and I'm going to re-pick the path because by removing the animation I've blown everything away. And if I turn on follow path, you'll see the camera changes, and if I zoom in, I'm going to hold shift down, I'm going to zoom in, and then I'm going to hold down alt and left mouse button drag. So here's the camera, and look at the direction it's looking at. It's really not that useful. It's looking off to the left, and that's all to do with the path lock. So if we come down here and follow path is on and it's set to x-axis, well, it's not looking down the path really, is it? So we need to find the axis it's looking down, and you might have to go and, oh well, that's the Z, but look, it's looking the wrong way. It's looking away from the direction of travel. So that tells you that it's minus Z. So my point about this is that do check whether you've got follow path on, because if you've got follow path on and then you come up here and you go, I'd like to rotate the camera, there is absolutely no way the camera's going to rotate, because you've actually locked it to looking along the path in the direction you wish to go. So if this is on, that's what the camera's going to do. It's going to be completely locked. There's absolutely no way you can change it. So just check this and turn it off, because if you turn it off, you should be able to do all of this as per my tutorial. And obviously if you can't after following this, then that might be a bug, and come back in the forum and we might have to discuss how we can report it to Reallusion. Okay, hope that helps. Take care. Bye.